I first started playing drums in the 7th grade. Joined band at my middle school, and I played for about a year, and then for some reason, kind of got bored of the drums, and I put them away in the attic, and kind of forgot that I ever played. But then when I was in high school, 3 of my friends started a band, and they knew that I had a drum set, and so they asked me to be the drummer. And I feel like if I didn't actually own those drums, I probably wouldn't be in the band right now. So thankfully, I have them lying around, and I've played ever since. It's a really long list of drummers that I'm into, but the first drummer that always comes to mind is Danny Carey. I'm a big fan of how he can play really technical stuff, but there's such a groove and a vibe behind it. Matt Cameron's a lot like that. So I'm a big fan of Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, because Matt Cameron. Trey Cool, who I'm on tour with right now, was a huge influence just from growing up and going to small punk shows and seeing Green Day play, way back before they really broke it big, and then all throughout their career, I've just been a huge fan of Trey Cool. So those are 3 of them. I could go all day though. Well, I suppose having a really good foundation is important. Learning your rudiments and kind of learning the basics. I never did that, and so I'm trying to learn them after the fact. So I don't think that you could ever go wrong by having a good foundation to fall back on. But at the same time, I think it's important to be true to who you are as a musician, and not let the strict sort of regimented education part of it get in the way of just the emotion or the emoting that comes with drumming. Drumming, it changed my life since from the moment I joined AFI. It kind of has been my life. It's really, drumming has consumed me for the last 20 years. To this day, I really couldn't give you a list of hobbies I have or things I like to do that don't involve playing the drums. So I guess it's changed my life in the sense that it has kind of become my life. I'm lucky enough to play drums for a living, but I also do it for fun. So it's changed my life greatly. My dad was a drummer. He played drums. He lived in San Francisco in the mid to late 60s, early 70s. He was part of the San Francisco psychedelic scene. But he got rid of his drums right before I was born. And I never really knew. I knew he was a musician, but he didn't really push anything on me. And I just remember when I was a kid, driving by the music store and seeing some drums in the window, and like any kid, you want this, you want that, you want some toy, and your parents are always saying no. But I remember we drove by the music store and I saw some drums, and I'm like, I think I'd like to learn how to play drums. And it was like, pull over, park, and we left with a drum set. Nice. And I'd never experienced that before, so clearly I struck a nerve with him. So, but yeah, my family's pretty musical. There's always instruments lying around, just kind of waiting to be discovered. There's a lot, but what comes to mind, we recently did a tour in Australia with Jane's Addiction. It was a big festival, 20, 30 bands. And on the last show in Perth, Stephen Perkins asked me to come on stage and play Chip Away with him. And it was Stephen Perkins and Mike Borden and Joey C. from Queens of the Stone Age, Eagles of Death Metal. And then, the other guys in James, Eric Avery, we all had floor toms and we were just beating the shit up. And I saw the first Lollapalooza in 1991, and it was one of the first times that I thought to myself, I really want to be in a band. So to, 18 years later, be on stage playing drums with Stephen Perkins and with Jane's Addiction, it was kind of a full circle thing for me. It was like, it was seriously one of the greatest moments of my life to, look over and see all these drummers, look out and see 20,000 people totally getting off. It was really cool. But we're gonna finish this tour with Green Day, and it goes through September 4th. And after that, I'm just gonna go home for a little while and try to get back in the woodshed, and try to get back to improving as a drummer and learning new things. It's kind of hard to do that when you're on tour. And then after that, we're going to start writing some music and hopefully record a new record, get back out on the road.